Oh no, boys and girls. I'm going to wing it this morning. Got a few things going on, like learning how to shut my phone off. Unmuting my mic. Is my mic? No, I'm fine. Damn. So, let's see. There is this this rift in the Christian community that keeps going on. And I'm telling you, in the last 2 weeks, they have given us more sound bites than we're going to need for the next 10 years to kind of show how Christianity isn't the happiest little handful of people you've ever run into. It's pretty incredible. I was talking to a really good friend of mine this morning. His name is Gary, and he is a believer, and he believes in something that he doesn't specify all that much, and he's not a church-going person, but he has a strong connection to faith. And we were talking a little bit about that, and we were the thing we came up with is that strong connection to faith runs through. It's a theme that runs through all religions and a lot of atheists, like myself. This strong connection to spirituality, and it runs through all humans, in fact. And if you get tied up in the beliefs, you are going to end up fighting over those beliefs. But if you get tied up in the actual feeling, the actual connection, or as my friend Gary calls it, a personal connection to God, if you get tied up in that instead, and just don't name it or don't fight over what it's named or what you think it is, you will find that you will get along with every other human on this fucking planet. But if you want to go down and you want to start specifying what caused this and what, this and that, and you want to fight it out about that, you'll get down to the point where you have 20 Christians on Praise That I Am's channel, excuse me, led by Smokey, going after one script, one little verse after another, fighting it out as to what this means and what that means, and exegesis. So let's exegete this and let's exegete that, and you're going to end up with the kind of shitstorm that they have encountered. And it's kind of interesting. But again, our focus here is pushing back on the 6,000-year-old pseudoscience bullshit that denies the very essence of biology, which is evolution, and denies naturalism, which is the very essence of all of the science that's saving your fucking kids' lives right now. That's saving mom and dad and working for all of us to give us this amazing technology. That is what you are attacking, and you think you're going along with it, but as I can show you here on my screen, I think anybody can read. Had a little so Dmiter spent a lot of time. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Athena. Good morning, Scott. Dmiter spent like 5 hours this week going over with Otangelo in detail the answer to the question that creationists ask us: how did this happen? How did that happen? That sort of thing. And the frustrating thing is, I don't think I'm looking at Otangelo, a still shot of Otangelo right now. And I love you, man. I like you, Otangelo, but everything bounced right off your head. You had one singular purpose. And I hope you don't mind me sharing just excerpts from your email to all of us this morning. You sent it out to a pretty broad spectrum. And that's kind of what I've got on the screen. I just clipped it. It's nothing personal. So after he, the question was, how did all this begin? How did this information thing start? How does information complexify, basically? How does putting energy into a system create complexity and create information and make that information more and more complicated? And Dmiter spent so much time explaining real, actual mechanisms using real, actual empirical evidence and chemistry to explain this to you. And then in the middle of all that, when we're talking, what you're talking about happened about 4 billion years ago. That's what you asked him about. That's what he was talking about. How this thing begins, how it develops. And you popped over and I asked him about the transition and evolution of his peptide hypothesis with proto-translation to a fully developed translation in modern cells. You took the goalpost, you ran 4 billion years ahead, right? And you don't even know you're doing that because you don't even believe that you think the Earth is 6,000 years old. So you've got that stuck in your head, but you're not talking to somebody who fucking believes that. And when you ask them to explain what their hypothesis is and their worldview, you're going to have to listen to them in terms of their hypothesis and their worldview and how old that fucking world is. You can't just, I love the word fuck, by the way. Anyway, sorry guys. But you can't just ignore their answer and turn their 4 billion years into 6,000 years and suddenly think, how did this pop up? Somebody asked me in chat the other day, some fucking ridiculous question. Moss to man. Okay, that's what they came up with. Fish to fisherman. Bacteria to biologist. Fuck you guys. None of that shit happened, and stop with the straw man bullshit questions, But anyway, I digress. The first thing I remember, okay, I'm reading Otangelo. The first thing I remember that Dmiter replied was, that's not a problem. And then he started his explanation. And I was thinking to myself, what the heck? That's not a problem? What is he talking about? That's a huge problem. You fucking right it is. It's a 4 billion year long story. It took 4 billion years for it to happen. It's probably going to take, if you explained every little step of it, it would probably take about 40 billion years to explain every step of it. Because you guys want to know every goddamn single detail, right? If you want to know the answer to your questions, you're going to have to listen to some overall philosophy about how information forms, how heat in a system actually creates information. And we have many examples in physics and chemistry and certainly in biology. That's what we're trying to explain to you. You're not going to get a detailed explanation at the same time that you're getting the macro explanation. And if you want a detailed explanation, we're going to have to pick a point on that 4.2 billion year timeline and start explaining it. But you can't keep running around with the goalposts like this, Otangelo. And then you say the ribosome is one of the most complex macromolecule complexes known. So what? It's not what the fuck we're talking about. Well, it is what we're talking about. But we're talking about this after a whole lot of other things have happened. To explain its origin, it is, in my understanding, a huge problem. Yeah, a long description. Recently, John Maddox beta boy, wolf, whatever the fuck he is, drew my attention to a recent science paper, nervous-like circuits in the ribosome come to light. I wrote an article based on that paper. Well, it's a review paper. And it is, let me see, I'm not sure where it came up. Can you pop it up here? I'm not going to pop it up. It is from 2019. So it is by Timset and Bennikin. And it's a review paper about neural circuits and the idea of using some ideas from circuitry in understanding protein interactions, enzymatic systems. One of them is the ribosome. Let's see. So I wrote an article based on that paper. Now I looked at the article and I saw some comments in there, and you highlight your comments in blue, and we can probably share that. It's on your blog, and I've linked it in my description. And all you do is say, oh my God, it's so complex. Oh my God, how could it be? How could it happen? You want the story about how it happened. How did all this come to be? It is my opinion. This an all or nothing business. This is an all or nothing business. No, it ain't. Fucking ain't. A stepwise gradual evolutionary emergence is not feasible. You just declare that. Now, what I noticed about you, and I'm pretty sure that, I will challenge fucking John Maddox, Beta Wolf, come over to my site and we'll go over this paper and we'll see how much of it you really read and how much you really understand. You don't really give a shit other than the little highlights that you can quote back. So, hey, Nestling and Top Dog, hello, hello. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I don't think they get a kick. They have no idea what they're doing. They actually think this way. They do not. They're not scientists. They're not doing science. They know nothing about science. They don't care to learn about science. The only thing they care is to read enough of the paper to get to the point where Otangelo got here. How did all this come to be? It is my opinion that it's too complex to have happened in stepwise manner. And that's the only way materialists can explain origin. Well, we could get to that a little bit. Yes, I am incredulous toward that hypothesis, and I think I am justified to be so. No, you aren't. You're reading your Bible. Again, read your fucking Bible. Not gonna be. It's not gonna turn out well. It's just over and over again. And we are frustrated, and I think Dmiter is frustrated with having spent 5 hours and then having had these questions pop up in the later part of the discussion that indicates that no one was listening to him. And we had this guy, SFB Mod, that popped over, and I'm trying to get in touch with him, and he sounds like a Maddox 2.0. Pretty intelligent, reasonable guy with a lot of information. But when I listened carefully to what he was talking about, it all starts to fall apart. And I challenge that man to come over and have a conversation with us. So SFB Mod, if you could get in touch with me through Otangelo, that would be good. Solo Hangout. Now, I'm going to open it up here in a minute, okay? That's like, and I just have a few things to, let's see, patch up here. I think I want to go over and, okay, so I want to try to find this damn tab. First of all, I think if I just relax and live with a little bit of dead airspace, this shit might turn out better, but stop that screen. Oh my God, who the fuck is that? Oh God, I hate seeing myself on cam. I am so old, man. I'm 25,452 days old today. It's my birthday. My 25,452nd birthday. For all you guys who got confused by that, it's my birthday every day. My real birthday is January 7th, where I will be turning 70. If I survive this fucking pandemic. Share screen. We will try and get Otangelo's blog up here. Oh my God, are you kidding me? This could be a translation through ribosomes, amazing nanomachines. What just fucking happened? What's happening? I never know what's happening. StreamYard blows. Okay. So anyway, let's see. So I think basically, correct me if I'm wrong, Otangelo, but you just copied his paper. In the past few decades, studies on translation have converged toward the ribosome nanomachine model. And then they go on to explain neural circuits. And what my icon for this morning's show is a picture from this paper. But then you have your comments in green. I'm sorry, I thought it was blue. In order to monitor the system, the ribosome must have previous knowledge. And your comments are all of the same ilk, right? I mean, do you understand that diagram? Do you understand what the hell's going on here? I don't think you care. I think all you care about is that otherwise, the right tRNA selection would not be established and the entire system would break down. Well, that's exactly what Dmiter was trying to explain to you. And it's not working. Okay, so this is not working. Something is not working in our communication. I'm sorry. It's not happening. I don't know. We can stop that for a minute, but let me see if I can actually paste a link this morning. It wouldn't let me paste a link last night on my own fucking channel. So can you post the link? Athena, the link is posted in my description. He sees that the day, yeah, ooh, how nifty, which means it's designed because that's how logic works, right? Okay, I'm trying. Oh my God, it let me post. It let me post today. Pretty cool. I'm happy. So let me see, application window. Come on, you can do this. What the fuck? In a second. Sure. I mean that.
Hey, yeah, I just noticed the link in the description.
Well, you know.
This looks like an interesting
Oh,
thing to read.
really? Yeah, it is. Anyway, kudos.
Of course, Otangelo completely misunderstood the fucking thing.
Kudos to the guy who owns his channel for putting fucking links to the papers in his description.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you got to say?
Hey, Nestle, how you been?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you good. Hey, we got Laurie.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, so what do you think of all that? I mean, the frustration with Dmiter sitting there and spending 5 hours with these people.
Oh, shit. Wait a minute.
I mean, is he getting paid at least? I feel like
No.
he's getting paid to deal with
No, he's doing this.
Shit.
He's doing this with the hope of making a difference. What are you falling down? Did you?
I mean, far be it from me to give up on people, but sometimes it feels like talking to them, it's not going to go anywhere. Yeah. You may get lucky, and one of them will be like, "Oh, I see. Yeah, you explained it well. I'm an evolutionary I'm a theistic evolutionist."
Yeah,
but
and
that's rare.
I think, and I came to this position about 3 weeks ago. It's like, okay, it's time to stop talking to them and start talking about them. And Otangelo's a really great guy, and he will talk to you for hours and hours. But I just don't see how it's going anymore. I don't see the point in it. I don't know.
For
frustrating.
Me, yeah, for me, always seeing these arguments. Neffy versus, Neff, David Neff is the global flood. I'm like, these arguments have been played out. You know what I mean? Can't you argue about something else?
Did you watch that debate?
No, I didn't watch it.
I don't know what David is doing over there with those debates and stuff, and on that channel, they're trying to convert him basically, and I don't know. I will have to check it out.
But here's the thing. Even if David Neff does convert, given how some people have been treated lately who have converted, I'd rather.
Right. Who would want to convert? So, yep. What the hell is wrong with this? What the fuck? I mean, Jesus, you think?
Sorry, go ahead. I was laughing about something.
Oh, so this was 4.2 billion years ago, right?
4.2, 3.8. You know what I mean? It's they, okay. according to the creationists, they keep changing the number because they don't know. No, right. It's new evidence.
And so Dmiter was, over here explaining, just he was trying to explain to him how information, develops from very, very simple peptides and nucleic acids and how the system happens and how it complexifies. We got the whole story along here. And fucking Otangelo asked him a question about over here, And it's like, okay, goalposts. Fucking leave the goalposts.
Who explains to him?
Dmiter in Otangelo's channel, which I've linked in the description. The video has the God talk. Okay.
Dmiter bounces the explanation of. I see in the description. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Dmiter has 2 papers. Well, he has 3 now. He hasn't shown us the third one yet, and he has a very detailed hypothesis about how you start out with very, very simple systems like this. And they slowly feed back on themselves, and they're selected by Darwinian selection, right? So old Darwin stops here and keeps selecting, and it becomes more and more complicated. And that's how you get from there to there. I mean, but you got to listen to you got to understand the explanation at the very low level.
Yeah.
Because they're like what Otangelo says here is, in my opinion, it's an all or nothing business. No, it isn't. It's co-evolution. So it was a co-evolution, and that's important.
That's the important aspect of like how the creationist mindset works. Like if you answer 99 out of 100 questions and say I don't know the last one, they will dismiss every answer that you have given to all the other 99 questions. And say, well, yeah, if you can't answer that one question, then all the other answers are just no, they don't work. It's all or nothing mindset is really.
The truth of the matter is that hang on a second. They don't want an answer.
Oh no, they won't want an answer. They want you to say I don't know, and then they will say aha, but I do.
Yeah, they start looking really depressed when you do start answering their questions. Like Dmiter over and over again, he walked them all the way through it, and he kept going back to that original illustration where he's explaining how life is about information, and it's about the interesting thing is, you've got a world here, the world impinging, and you've got these organisms that have a germline, and one pops up the next, and then there's just this constant passing on through time. And what happens is your environment, the way the world works, or the way the world churns, feeds information into this system, right? By selecting it. And this information gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it accumulates.
That's basically, it's an old paper, I think, but it answers the question of how evolution adds information to the genome. And basically they define information as, the genome tells something about the environment or the particular niche the organism occupies. So if an environment, if a mutation confers some kind of advantage to one environment that will be selected for, and its presence and the absence of any other particular gene, then it will tell you what type of environment it's likely adapted to. So that's how information gets encoded in the genome, so to speak.
And it keeps going with this, historical tree here, it follows that path. And some of these things, and the problem is that information is a double-edged sword. I mean, not only does that information allow this organism to live at this time, but it will also kill it because it has a restricted pathway now, and that's how things go extinct.
Oh yeah,
and that's kind of an interesting aspect of life, that information has this double-edged sword.
And it is also one thing that we observe, generally speaking, organisms are either generalists or specialists. Also, there are many exceptions. Some are a type of both. Like we for example, are capable of doing both specialized lifestyles and generalized lifestyles. But in any way, organisms tend to shift to either one. And the specialists are very vulnerable to changes in the environment, like the apex predators who are very specialized at killing big things.
It's better to be general.
It's much more. You're much more robust to changes in the environment. Like if you're a raccoon who eats fish and eats bugs and such.
Funny how that applies. That doesn't just apply to surviving in the environment, but in work environments as well.
The even cooler part about this is that when a human being is hatched, born, okay,
hatched,
right,
I know,
well hatched, and then we pop out your mama. And basically there's this hatching process, and then there's an interaction of the mother environment, basically, with this information. But then your whole life, you're accumulating these nodes of information that become your mind and your knowledge set and what you believe. And a lot of that takes place in the first, 1 to 3 years of life. You get this entire set of all of this information, right? But it's the same kind of thing. You're accumulating information in your synapses. So we evolved to not only accumulate information in our genome, but we have this incredible nervous system. And then when you look at what you know, it's this huge network of information that's based. Anybody familiar with Marvin Minsky?
No, but I like to add that there's also pruning as you grow up.
Oh,
You
yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
you actually lose connections or neurons. Or, I forget which one, but you know what I mean. That doesn't really mean anything because the connections just become stronger.
Well, that's interesting because have any of you ever done any body work or anything where we used to have these templates and they had a lot of little wires in them. It was it was a whole bunch of little wires and you pressed it up against a fender and it would give you the ridge. It would it would be an impression. It was like oh my God, what the fuck? My drawings are horrible. I'm sorry guys. But anyway, it's like a band, right? And it had all these little wires in it, that could be pushed through this band. And you would end up being able to get an impression of like a fender or something, So it was a template machine. It was a tool for body people to grab a template and then, mold,
describe.
Right? Yeah. Anyway, so where the fuck was I going with that?
I guess you were going that we're adaptable. I don't know, Speed.
Your mind
is an enigma.
Neural Darwinism. Okay, you were talking about Gerald Edelman and neural Darwinism, where basically the baby is born with just too many goddamn neurons and too many connections, and we have to cull out a bunch of them,
Yeah,
we have to get rid of them.
what was it, David Eagleman or something? He talks about it in his book, The Brain: The Story of You, which was really an interesting book. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to his neuroscience. Some other areas were a little bit lacking because that wasn't his field.
Oh,
like he was talking about addiction and. It was. I need to read that. I need to read that part again. But his neuroscience was spot on. Just his political stuff was a bit.
And that was Engelman.
Yes, or Eagleman, or David Eagle. I'll send it to you. I'll find find the link of it. But you know what? No buying. Find the PDF because you need to save money.
Oh yes, I do. I was going broke. Though the state of Minnesota does like to send people money, so I don't know. My yucky drawings. I wish I could draw better. I mean, God, I wish I was Nathan Art. He's doing our icon for the show tonight, and it's you moved Saturday night at the Atheist, didn't you? No, it's Sunday night. Well, yeah, it seems like nobody can show up on Saturday, so we might have it on Sunday. But anyway, and that's like what is your? I don't think I've met you before, have I? I've seen you all over the place.
I think we did like a Zoom hangout a while back with Jackson, right?
Oh, that was. Oh, you were there. Okay, good. Yeah, and who the hell else was there?
It was offline. It didn't get recorded.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Cool.
Yeah, I know. It was before the Corona thing broke out, so it feels a while back.
Seems like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got back from the store and I picked up a 57-pound bag of raccoon food, actually, dog food. And
I mean, let's be honest.
Rib.
The raccoons are your dogs.
Yeah, they are my dogs. Yeah, the guy asked me, "Oh, you must have a big dog," and I said, "Nope, a lot of little raccoons."
Yeah.
So anyway, but I don't know. I'm not sure what the hell are we doing in this community, and what can we do? I think the best we can do is to put out good information for lay people, and keep explaining this over and over again in such a way.
There's the link, Speed.
Oh, in private.
Yes. Well,
you have a wrench, don't you?
I mean, yes.
Well, What the fuck?
That would be me, lay people.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
I mean-
I'll post it in chat. There
You know,
you go.
and-
Go buy that book. I get 5%. I'm kidding. I get nothing. It's just a good book.
So, Laurie, you are the most important to us to give us feedback about how we can make some of this simpler. The stuff that Dmiter was talking about, I'm guessing, aren't you the one that said you learned a lot from that? Yeah.
I absolutely did. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to talk to people really at all. I'm really new at as far as chatting with people, but I know you listened to a conversation that I had with Otangelo. So yeah, I'm not well studied, but I have a pretty good general knowledge of the stuff, and I love listening to the talks. I'll tell you a quick story about through what we're talking about now with Dmiter and all that. I went this morning and listened to Otangelo's response. He had a little video on there this morning, and I listened to him for about 20 minutes, a half an hour, and he was discussing it. And okay, I spent hours and hours listening to all of this, listening to Dmiter, listening to the whole conversations of everything. And like I said, I'm very, I am not studied in this field at all. So I don't know, I don't understand the technical parts of the subject, but I easily get a grasp of the generalization of what everybody's talking about. I can understand that. So I really understood what Dmiter was talking about. I could grasp exactly what he was saying. And what I got out of it was he's heading in a different direction. That's exactly what science wants to do. You want to, analyze the hypothesis. If, like he was saying, the RNA world, it wasn't really making much progress. He's analyzing that. He come up with a new hypothesis. He's heading in a different direction.
I mean, it's
That's
never really
hugely
stopped.
promising. That's what you should be doing.
Oh,
Yeah, there's all these
yeah.
like tRNA forms all of these odd little shapes and whatever, and or RNA does, right? So RNA is capable of all these kind of like strange little hoops and shit like that. And Dmiter's theory is, okay, RNA world was that this stuff basically, I hope that doesn't look like something, but Dmiter is adding small peptides or these bridge peptides to it. And they're very, very tiny peptides, and they would attach in different ways to these RNAs. So it's called, what is it, peptide RNA world or something? And a peptide is a protein, by the way. So in an amino acid,
it's one technicality. Like a protein is technically like a polypeptide that has a specific
polypeptide,
function, like a small, two amino acids forming a peptide bond. That is a peptide, like two peptides,
right.
So two amino acids. But it's technically not a protein.
Yeah, well, they would call these oligopeptides or small peptides or whatever.
Aren't there proteins that are only one peptide?
I don't think so. No.
That wouldn't. Well, you wouldn't really. That would just be an amino acid.
I think pretty much all proteins have at least some form of tertiary structure, like loops and beta sheets and alpha helixes. Yeah, which requires a long peptide, at least more than over 100 amino acids.
Yeah,
at least. Yeah.
Anyway, so he's talking about these very, very small amino acids, and he's talking about a small subset of them. There are six or seven of them. There's like these groups of amino acids. The 20 amino acids they group. There are some that came along a lot later, and some of them came along a lot earlier. Yes. So Dmiter has this pretty incredible theory. We're pedantic. We are. Pedantic are us. So he has this incredible theory about how just a very small subset of these amino acids was used in some of these very early organisms, and it's quite detailed, and I think and they're going to start doing research on this, which is pretty cool. So they're going to start actually put this in the lab, as soon as they can. Fucking problem is it's hard to get money. Well, you can get money for bio if the drug companies right now are very interested in this whole information neural circuit kind of thing, because they want to have self-developing drugs, sort of. Basically, we're cracking into an entirely different kind of organic synthesis when we can have systems that self-create a bunch of different molecules and stuff like that. So I think there's going to be a lot more money in the future.
That's playing God.
Yes, we've been playing God for thousands of years. Like, look at the banana. It's
exactly.
It's a seedless mutant that we have created.
Well, God, isn't that demonic though for us to create bananas? I mean, aren't bananas like?
It's weird. It's also a phallic shape on purpose.
Yeah, the atheist.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's obviously demonic because it's phallic.
What is wrong with that guy? I swear.
Which one?
Ray Comfort or whoever came up
the
with the
banana man.
Yeah, whoever came up with the fucking banana thing.
Yeah.
He is smart enough to exploit stupid people for money, but he is still an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue that it doesn't really. Oh, okay, I guess you're right. It does take a little bit of smarts to.
He earns millions of dollars. Maybe not anymore, but he used to earn millions of dollars. Like in one public speaking, he earned a yearly salary of an average American in 1 hour during a talk.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing with all that money? You know what I mean? He should give back to the community. Rather than hoard it all.
I'm beginning to wonder that about Mr. James Tour, who's going around shooting his mouth off a lot at mostly at Christian places, but he I wonder if he's getting paid now. I mean, he just came out, he stumbled onto the scene, with his expertise, and he gave a talk.
Quote expertise. Well, I'm sure he knows what the hell he's talking about in his own field.
Oh, he
does. When it comes to abiogenesis, stick to your own guns.
Yeah, when it comes to biology, he doesn't know crap.
Oh, yeah, you know Jackson Wheat, right? We.
I love Jackson Wheat.
Yeah, we recently finished one video, and we are now in the process of making another, and we tackled the crocodile in that video a bit.
Oh, cool.
Just a small bit, but for the most part, it's about kinds.
Speaking of
how kinds are created.
I wonder how King Crocodile is doing.
Hey, I think I'm going to end this broadcast. I want to talk to you guys offline.
Really?
Well, we don't want to talk to you. I'm just kidding.
Fuck y'all. Okay, end of the morning report. I think we've done enough damage, so I'm just going to take us off live. Goodbye, guys.